Welcome to the Threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to discuss at least three topics each week. If you have returned for more of our, can I say shenanigans?
Sure.
That
I
sounds
don't
better.
know. We appreciate you and thank you for putting up with us once again. And if this is the first time you found us, welcome. And we apologize in advance.
I don't.
I know you don't. So let me introduce the three of us. Our point person and optimistic realist. We call her Star.
Oochie coochie la la la. Oochie coochie.
Wow.
You went way back for that one.
Yes, I did.
And our man in the middle and our voice of reason, we call him Magic.
Ladies, cleaning up period blood while still fucking is incredibly sexy. Trust me on this one.
Ew. Ew. Why you gotta be gross? Ew.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Cleaning it up from where, though?
The sheets?
Listen. Ew. Why would you clean it up during and not after? Anyway.
Listen, some people can multitask better than others.
Okay, well. That ain't a task I want to do. Multi or other way. Anyway.
Can we wait, hold on. I can't. Just wait a minute. Just hold on. So how is that sexy? Because you think you bought on her period or
Nobody believes that at my age.
okay. All right, then continue.
Okay. Bringing up the rear, as always, I identify as a pragmatic contrarian of our group, and they call me Storm. So this is our last podcast of February 2022. What is this? 22? Thank you. I mean the last one that y'all will listen to in February, because we'll probably record one more in February, but we'll be out of Black History Month by then, because damn, it goes by fast.
Word.
Black.
So,
Dog,
I mean, I was gonna talk about Assata Shakur tonight, because y'all can't see my fist, but it's up because gone girl.
Too.
But
hold on, before we start, your son should never rhyme Black Queen and Crack Fiend, but go ahead.
Okay.
That always
Noted.
bothered me.
Okay. But anyway, so Assata Shakur, homegirl, they tried to accuse her of everything under the sun. She beat all the charges except for the one where they accused her of shooting New Jersey state trooper on the turnpike on 1973. They convicted her of that. She escaped from prison, and then she absconded to Cuba, where she's been living ever since. But I would go into all that, but I mean, for real, just read her book. Her books, just go read. Yeah, reading is fundamental. So
yes,
do that. But that's really all I have on that. Y'all got anybody else? Y'all need people to be up on while we still have time?
Wait a minute. All you're going to say about Assata Shakur is that?
Yeah, because if I talk about her, I mean, we can be here for hours about all the charges they tried to hang on her, about all the charges that she beat, about how she got into her
What she
activism.
actually did would probably be more important than what they accused her of.
Well, I mean, what she actually did was be a revolutionary, and
After being shot twice.
at that time, the FBI was really trying to crack down on Black revolutionaries. You know, go
Yeah.
back to the discussion we had about
Huey P.
Huey. Yeah, they were just trying to throw them in prison and for all kinds of trumped up charges. And in Assata's case, anything that happened in New Jersey or in the general vicinity that was done by a Black person or a female, or sometimes neither, they tried to hang around her neck. And she was smart. She was extremely smart. And so she was able to beat all the charges, except for the last one where they tried to say she shot a state trooper, which I, to this day, do not believe she shot that state trooper. But, white folks were not going to let her, walk for that anyway. So they convicted her, sent her to prison, and she escaped and went to Cuba. And she been chilling ever since. So there's that.
Black Power.
And to this day, she's on the FBI most wanted list. How about that?
Yep, she sure is.
Also, no relation to Tupac, in case people are wondering. Different Shakur, although she knew Tupac's mother, but they were not related.
Yeah.
Anybody got anybody else y'all want to throw in there?
Study some Langston Hughes, some Gil Scott, some
Gil Scott, Aaron, that's my boy.
Yep. The revolution will not be televised.
Actually, my favorite quote from him, and I'm going to misquote it because I don't remember exact details, but it was around 99, 2000. One of the pop and hip hop magazines at the time asked him what he thought about the rappers of the time, and he had said that they keep finding complicated ways to say simple things when it should be the other way around. You should be able to say something complex in a simple way so people understand it better.
That's a good summation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all these revolutionists, and I love them for sure. But let's talk about some of the invention contributions Black people have had. A lot of people don't talk about Lewis Latimer, like him a lot. He made some very important contributions that are still being used today. Even though they're trying to get rid of the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, he's credited with that. But yeah, he took that from Lewis Latimer.
Well, right, because Latimer actually worked for him, didn't he?
Yep.
And
he
did
couldn't
most
apply as a Black man. He couldn't apply for the patent.
Exactly, but I think he did most of the work on it.
Yeah.
And and then the white man swooped in and took all the credit.
Yep.
And y'all to this day,
the American way with 3 Ks.
Yep. He also invented the process for the carbon filaments, I believe it is, for the light bulb. He did a couple of things with concerning electricity and.
Yeah, if you live in the Southwest and you used to, well, you may still have a swamp cooler.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper than central air. He was the one that invented evaporative cooling.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Apparatus for what is it? Cooling and disinfecting. Yeah. Yep.
So Black history, y'all. Read up on that. For real.
Check it out.
You must learn.
Yep.
Oh, now that song gonna be stuck.
Should be all month.
Okay. Um. So, what y'all want to talk about first? Well, let's go for something fun. Let's talk about shallow hal syndrome.
Why is
Y'all,
that a
y'all want to tell the people what that is in case they missed the movie or they're too young to have seen it or too old, whatever the case may be?
yeah, could be. Yeah. Um Shallow Hal syndrome, I mean, when you look it up, it's pretty much they refer to the male um who basically sees their inner beauty as their outer beauty. So that person could be, 450 pounds, but they don't see that. They see them as a slimmer, beautiful woman because they're looking at the inner beauty of the person and not the outer appearance. But men and women have shallow Hal syndrome.
I think women have it more.
I
I think so
mean,
too.
definitely. Like I definitely have it to some degree, although I don't know if what I have is shallow hal syndrome though, because you know what I mean. Like I look at you and I see you ain't cute.
But you
You know
have
what I'm
the
saying?
ability to look beyond their physical
But
imperfections.
right, but you talk
Yeah.
to me and you talking about something, and you know form intelligent sentences. So I mean, to me, that's hot.
I gotta get there. I
No, don't get me wrong. You can't look like something the cat dragged in and and expect me to look past it because I'm not that evolved. But I mean, you know,
I
you got
think
to at
time
least
plays a
be.
big factor in it too. If you're around somebody that you don't traditionally find attractive long enough, you can catch glimpses of their personality and how they think, how they carry themselves, how they talk, and it makes them seem more attractive than you would have thought initially.
that is definitely the case for me because
Hmm.
back in the day, I had gotten kind of close to this guy, and by no means was dude attractive. He was not my type at all. He was short, just everything on the checklist of what it is that I find attractive in a man on the surface. He was the opposite of it, and
Wait, you like 5'2"? What is short?
I'm 5'4.5". Thank you. Um,
Six
Round
two
up.
and under is short.
but I have a tendency to like taller guys. Like tall. Well, not very tall, but I'm sorry.
Who?
Damn.
Wow.
Not to storm
Hopefully catch
tall.
it this week.
Um, but if you're like 6'3", that's cool with me. 6'3" and up. I mean, I don't
I
want you
mean,
to be.
that's cool.
I don't want
That's
you to
Do
be
you
a
cool. Me
realize how
too.
6'3".
awkward it is walking around with somebody a foot shorter than you?
I think it's cute.
Okay.
No.
Um, I mean, 6'3" to me is okay. I mean, it's acceptable. It's just not tall. That's just not somebody I would consider to be tall.
You're also taller than her.
Not by that
Not
much.
yeah, not by that much.
Not by that much. But I mean, 6'3" is cool. The majority of, well, the exception of my ex-husband, I think he was 5'11", maybe. Um,
The nerve, but
5'10",
all right.
5'11". You said what?
Y'all got nerve.
Oh.
No.
But um yeah, but the majority of the guys that I've talked to since then, except for, I'm sorry, were at least 6'2". Yeah, they were at least 6'2". I did have one guy that I dated for a very hot minute until I figured out how terrible his breath was.
Wow.
But anyway, he was actually my height. And that was weird and cute at the same time, but I mean, that's not something I don't think I would purposefully do again.
There you go, people. If you're ugly or short, you better play the proximity game and have a lot of personality.
Well, I was gonna say because the inverse is true as well. I mean, there have been dudes that I'm like, oh, um, I like him. He's cute, and then they talk, and
You're an
that's
idiot. No,
that's the end of the or an asshole, whatever the case may
you're
be.
an idiot.
And
Honestly,
then
if you're traditionally good looking and or have a lot of money, where do you learn to develop a personality?
well, I mean, I know a lot of traditionally good-looking people who are just absolute sweethearts, and
I'm sure we exist. I'm just saying it's not the norm.
Lord, yeah, well, back to the asshole conversation. Anyway, um,
Don't hate me for my self esteem.
mm, but yeah, no, I mean, one of the sweetest dudes I ever knew in my life was what I would call traditionally good looking. And by traditionally good looking, I mean by America's standards, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, good
Okay.
looking dude. Um, and, but he was just like a complete sweetheart.
I dated a guy once who, I mean, he was
And
fairly attractive, and he had like the best personality. And I don't know. I guess that's always a little bit of a pleasant surprise when you find somebody who is, I'll say, widely acceptable as being handsome or attractive, and they're really just really cool, down to earth sweetheart people. It's kind of cool to find because I know a lot of fine assholes, and it just kind of like turns them ugly to me. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And let me just say this: if you're a young person and you are a good-looking young person and you are listening to this, let me just say this: if you
don't
have
be an
a
asshole. Oh.
What
if
your
you
mama
have
look
a
like?
terrible if you have a terrible personality and attitude, uh, that shit catches up to you like real quick.
Yeah.
Like there are
Yeah.
people who were cute in their 20s. By the time they hit their 30s, that asshole is all over their face. So, be better people. That's all.
You know, that brings me to something that I'm
Okay.
just waiting to see how. I'm waiting to see maybe in the next 15 to 20 years how it plays out. So many of these young girls keep a scowl on their face, like 25 and under, like they're forever frowning and scowling at for just, for, I'm not going to say for no reason, but they always have this grimace like on their faces. It'll be real interesting to see how some of these people age.
Yeah, I
I'm from
mean,
Jersey. I like a gangster bitch.
some of them may have some problems that, we don't know about. So,
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, nobody says that you got to walk around with the Kool-Aid smile all day.
Nah, don't trust them.
I was gonna say I don't trust anybody that's that chipper. That's why what's the name of that televangelist in Texas? I told y'all
Olstein.
decades yes, I told y'all
Oh yeah,
decades
he been a
ago he
crook.
couldn't be trusted. And
What, does
people
he
are
smile
finally
too much?
too goddamn much. Like it's too much. Nobody smiles that much and they ain't ripping you off.
See, that's fucked up because I'm a naturally smiley person.
And you don't smile as much as he does.
I'm start not trusting
Oh,
you.
see, see, that's
Eddie
messed up.
Murphy already said it.
I'm a naturally smiley person. That's kind of.
Yeah, but you don't smile as much as Joel Osteen does. That's what I'm saying.
I've never paid him any. You know what? I'm just thinking about who you talking about. He does smile a lot.
Too much. Like that shit is always plastered on his face, which is why I never trusted anything he did.
Him and the
Mm.
dark skinned dude from Camp Low.
I don't know what that is.
Hip
Camp
hop thing.
Low.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know Camp Low?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here watching this gymnast wobble on the balance beam. ESPN is always on my
The
television
rookie
for
game
whatever
tournament is
reason.
going on right now.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's also a college gymnastics meet on ESPN for some reason. And
Gay,
excuse me,
homosexual.
they are not.
I was
Good
not
grief.
talking about them, but all right. Next topic.
Wait a minute before
Okay.
you go to the next topic. So you do know Camp Low. You just
Yes,
got it.
I'm
You're
distracted.
distracted. Okay. I'm like, you come from that time. Come on.
Also, another side note:
This is his
nothing that
squad.
motherfucker said rhymed, but that's just me being me.
You being you.
Cheap.
I'm ahead. What do you want?
Mm, you say so.
No, that song stuck in my head.
Go back
You
and
know
listen to
what?
all his
Okay.
parts to see if anything rhyme on the 4 and the 8.
You know what? I have a complaint. I
What?
have a complaint.
Okay.
Okay, and here's who I blame.
Okay.
I blame the Halle Berrys of the world. The
Okay.
I blame
Good
the
looking but
the
insane.
I blame the Angela Bassett's of the world.
Okay.
We would not say nothing bad about Miss Angela Bassett.
I blame those types of people
Or
because I thought I was going to be able to hit 50 years old and lose my filter and just say whatever the fuck came into my mind, and people would be like, "Oh, well, she over 50, she just old, and that's what they do." But nah, Angela Bassett is like 130
Slow
and
down.
be on television playing 20-year-olds because she just that cute. So I can't get away with getting rid of my filter at 50 when her and Hallie are out here, doing what they do. And
I don't
I
even
don't
understand
appreciate it.
how you put all of that together.
Yeah, that shit
I'm just
don't even
saying I don't
correlate.
appreciate. Well, I'm just saying people have much more expectations of my old ass because their old asses won't get old. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
50, think about it. 50 used to be old as fuck, right?
Mm, Still kind of is, but yeah, people are aging better.
Hey, hey, watch yourself.
Well, I'm just
You
saying,
have a grandchild.
50,
Yes, I have
still,
a grandchild. So what?
Okay. Why
still,
you trying to
50
play
ain't as
young?
old. 50 ain't as old as it used to be. Now
No,
you got
because
to
I don't
be
look 50. Man.
like 70,
Okay, looks is a different thing,
and
but 50 years is 50 years.
I
Whatever.
know, but you got to be like 70 and look like the crypt keeper to really be able to get away with to really get away with just not censoring your thoughts and
You
have it be
realize
charming.
what we're doing right now, right?
Anything ghouls and goblins.
Yes, but I still have to censor myself, and that's why that's why I'm
When did
mad
that
today.
start?
Oh, trust me, it has always been so.
You sound a pussy right now.
Well, I mean, I'm, and you sounding like you not the beneficiary.
I'm
Anyway,
good.
moving along.
Wow.
Wasn't shooting that shot.
Moving along. So, what do y'all want to talk about next? Um, we want to talk about these
Y'all
long-term
killing.
relationships that are getting that get stale
Oh,
over time.
It's inevitable.
So,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's inevitable. I think it's likely.
It is inevitable. You only gonna be around the same motherfucker so much before shit just gets monotonous.
Okay. I mean, I think that that's not necessarily the case. I know people that have been, together for like eons and, still look at each other like they want to fuck. But I also know people who've been together for like 15 years and are like,
I'm
you
sick of this
again?
Ready to
motherfucker.
kill each
Right.
other?
Right. Why are you still here?
First and
You
foremost, I
know,
never assume I know what's going on behind closed doors, but
I agree. And
certain
that's why I
people know how
said
to, what did Chris Rock say? Refresh the pussy or something like that?
you really
Recycle.
love to quote Chris Rock.
I study
But go ahead.
comedians the same way I study rappers.
Yeah, don't do that. Anyway,
Keeps me sane.
does it though?
I'm the
Anyway,
only one here that doesn't see a therapist.
and you think that makes you sane. Gotcha.
Yes. One
Okay.
of the other
So
voices in my head
I
holds me
am
down from
totally.
that
Don't be
perspective.
don't be throwing shade and taking shots
I,
at me. Like,
I'm just saying that crazy people never know they're crazy, right? And we'll just leave
I
that
will
there.
agree with you on that one.
We'll just leave that there. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know that it's inevitable. I just think that it's more likely than not to happen eventually. If
my
you're together,
therapy. Hell, over
he
here
really
stewing.
he really wounded you with that, like
Scared.
like you felt
I'm,
personally attacked.
listen, I'm collateral damage over here.
Talking shit, I do feel most people should go see a therapist. Me personally,
No,
I'm
I don't
just
really
like, if you're
care.
the type of person that wants to listen to people bitch about their lives for a living, you got more problems than me.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't really. I
actually,
mean, I wasn't really obscured or wounded or anything. I'm just tripping.
yeah,
My thing
that's
is,
actually
my
true
therapist has
because
probably saved a lot of lives.
Yeah.
well, also the suicide rate among therapists is pretty high. But
Is it? Damn.
oh, absolutely. But for the record, I don't go to my therapist to bitch about my life. Like that is not what goes on in my therapy session. I don't know what goes on in your therapy session because everybody is not the same. But that is not what we do. So there's that.
Okay. I really hate Al
Yeah.
Green's afro, but where were we?
Love
Mm,
and happiness.
make you do right.
So we were talking about when relationships go stale. I remember reading a couple of years ago about an article about couples. They had, like, I guess, talked to like several different couples who had been together for 25 plus years, and how they keep the relationship fresh. And there were a couple of couples in that article who were saying that a lot of the things that they thought marriage was about, or that they wanted marriage to be about, as far as um, you know, no sleeping with other people, no this, no female friend, no male friend, or friends of the opposite sex, or whatever. Those things that were kind of deal breakers at the beginning became less of deal breakers as they went along. Some of it was the partners were secure that even if the other of their partners had decided to have another friend of the opposite sex, that was new, that they just weren't they were confident enough that their bond was strong enough to that their partner wouldn't stray, or if they
Nigga ain't
did
fucking with
stray,
me.
right, or if they did stray, that it wouldn't be the end of their relationship. um what say you people?
It's a very real thing. maybe 10 or so years into being married. Like if she went to take a vacation with the girls or something, I'd be like, go, have fun, do whatever the fuck you do. Don't come back with
It
any
took you.
kids or diseases.
Mm,
Oh, that sounds like
And if
me.
you do some shit, lose that motherfucker's number as soon as you leave.
um, I mean, I can see it. I mean, I can see it. I mean, but not to not to sit in therapy, right? But but I mean, like I watched my parents' relationship, and for a lot of my life, they didn't live in the same country, so
Damn,
you know what I mean.
that's different.
So not it's not as different as you might think. You didn't grow up
Especially
around
around
the
the
military,
military, yeah.
Well,
right?
yeah.
There's a certain level of maturity where you realize there's more to a relationship than sex. And realistically, sex shouldn't
Absolutely.
even be in your top 5, maybe top 10 of reasons you're going to be with somebody for forever. So if
And
there's other things that are more important that are in order and locked down, I think within certain limitations, why the fuck are you even worried about that shit?
I agree. Because I don't think, I mean, I do think sex is important.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the be all end all.
shouldn't
um,
be. Cool in the beginning,
because,
though.
well, because I mean, shit can always happen. And then all of a sudden, what happens when sex is off the table? You know, do you have enough to sustain that relationship long term? So it could just be that y'all are comfortable with each other and have a really deep friendship. And I don't give a
And a
damn
mortgage
if you go,
and
I'm
kids.
sorry.
Instead of a mortgage and kids.
Well, and all of that. Yeah, because at some point, you know, sometimes your finances are so enmeshed, and just to untangle that would be, you know,
A
A lot.
disaster.
a headache. Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, if you're only staying for sex, then your relationship is not built on a very good foundation.
Yeah, clearly you are under 25.
Yeah, or under
Or or
30, more
or
likely.
just or just silly as hell, because I know, you know, some people my age that still think that that shit is the be all end all.
Mm.
Yeah, I've got a person who's like that, and he's definitely 49.
Blue Chew
Just
is a hell
silly.
of a drug.
And, and also, you know, there are a lot of people who, well, and by people I mostly mean men, who who have gotten to a ripe old age and have not changed their mindset at all about who they are. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's weirdo shit. If you're
um,
not looking at yourself from 10, 15, 20 years ago thinking I was a fucking idiot, you're not growing.
I agree. If you're a
Mhm.
50-year-old man that is still out here looking for a mate based upon whether or not their looks are going to impress your friends, I don't know what you're doing.
Slap yourself.
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know a 40, almost 40-year-old who was like that. His friends didn't necessarily think that the woman that he was dating was hot enough. Um, and they
You
were
mean
very
all of them
vocal
who
about
went
it.
home alone by themselves
Exactly. Or were in miserable situations themselves.
with less than average ass looking women?
Like you let them talk you out of a good woman, like
Right.
stupid.
At any age in life, if you living for what the fuck your friends think about what you doing, you slipping.
I agree.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people out there who are malleable in that way, who,
I agree with that as well.
yeah.
Way too many.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And listen, it's not that I don't care what my friends think. I care. Like I'll listen to what they have to say, but if it's based on appearance, I dismiss that shit right away. I mean, because my friends may see other things in my potential mate that maybe I'm not looking at, or maybe, I mean, because I have demonstrated in the recent past that I look at people through rose-colored glasses sometimes.
Mm. You got to build up
So,
some credibility with me. Like if you
so
broke,
if
I don't
my
need your advice on making money.
well, yeah, but I'm saying if my friends come to me and say, dude is, he's this, that, and the other, his personality X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna take a second look at him. You know what I mean? Because my close friends, first of all, none of them are in that shallow category. Well, not I can't say none of them because there are a couple, but I know who they are. Okay, I
Am
have
I one of
identified.
them?
Credibility.
No, you're not one of them, but I have identified the ones
You are a
who
good
are.
friend.
And but for example, Star, if you were to come to me and I was like, oh, it's this dude, and I'm gaga over him or whatever, and you were like, him? And I'd be like, yeah, and you're like, hmm, well, um, his personality X, Y, and Z, I would take a harder look at him
Okay.
based on you saying that. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
But if you were to say him, like
Like he
like
ain't cute.
he ain't cute. Like that, I'd be like, okay. And that would be the last I would think about that statement. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Got you.
Because first of all, cute is subjective.
Very
Yeah.
much
Very
so.
much so. Very, very, very much so.
And also, like, he may have other qualities. You so busy looking at his aesthetics that he may have other qualities that are endearing to me that you're not even
Yeah.
paying attention to. You
That's
know?
very true. I mean, I'm not one of them. I'm not like that anyway. Like,
Well, I know,
I have
but
a
I'm just,
friend
yeah, using
who
you as an example.
I know, but I have a friend and she's always using the word ugly, like somebody's ugly. And I'm like, ugly is such a harsh word. There are people
Mm.
out there who are,
Is this a friend I know?
I think you all have met. I think so.
Okay.
It's probably not who you're thinking of immediately,
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah, because you know who I'm thinking of
yes,
immediately,
yes.
right? Okay.
It's like for real though. No. Anyway, but she has a habit of using the word ugly, and I'm just like ugly. Ugly is such a harsh word. Like you, you may not necessarily be appetizing to the eye to most, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're ugly. Um,
Everybody got features.
Everybody got features,
Right.
you know. Like this
Right. Like,
this this one guy that she was just like, girl. I mean, not somebody I was interested in. She was just like, girl, he is hideous, and it was somebody that she worked with. And when
Wow.
I met
Hideous
him,
this world.
hideous and ugly go hand in hand to me. But she's like, he is so ugly, he's hideous, whatever, whatever.
Yeah, there's levels.
So yeah, I guess. But when I saw him, I was like, okay, he probably wouldn't be a guy that I would take a second look at walking down the street, but he had the best smile. And it was just like when he smiled, it did something to his face. And I don't know, but cute and ugly or beautiful, they're all very, very subjective. And, what one person may think is very unattractive, another person be like, "Woo, that person fine," like Tay Diggs.
Shout out to the light skin comeback, but let's
right.
let's establish that there's levels. If somebody called you ugly and somebody called you hideous, who you gonna swing on first?
I'm not not swinging on anybody because I don't care what you think. I
Nah,
mean,
I'm perfectly fine with somebody thinking I'm ugly, but if you saying I'm hideous, nah, we got a problem.
Hideous is like ugly and scary.
Yeah.
I would probably laugh. Um, because generally the people who would say that need somebody to hold up a mirror for them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, because anybody who would say that to somebody is not somebody who is a good looking person themselves, or and when I say good looking, I mean their personality is terrible.
Not even
Um,
that so much as if you don't think I'm handsome, fine, I could take that. But if you particularly choose the word hideous, you're trying to be insulting on purpose.
Yeah. And hurtful. Yeah.
Yeah.
right, and that's what I mean, and that speaks to your personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Hideous.
know,
That's a word I haven't even heard in a while.
I knew a dude in high school. We had a dude in my high school. He moved to our high school. I want to say our junior year. Was not a traditionally good looking guy. Um, and people who didn't know him would always comment on that, because he was dating this one girl, and people were like, "Well, why is she dating him? He is not good looking, or he is
You
so
know why she
ugly."
was there.
Well, no, he was the sweetest guy. Like to this day, the nicest. I mean, he is just so nice.
You have to learn to play the hand Mother Nature dealt you.
I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, to me, nice goes a longer way than your pretty handsome face. I
Yes,
mean,
it's the
every now and
separation
then.
between initial attraction and what keeps a person.
Right. I mean, and every now and then, nature gets
That's
it,
true.
perfect and lines them up, like in, one Mr.
Me?
Alonzo Morning,
I am him too.
definitely not. Um, but anyway, but one Mr. Alonzo Morning is, beautiful, philanthropic, you know, and I imagine, just a joy to be around. And
Hey,
if you don't think,
Gons, come
and
on the
if
show.
And if you don't think so, I don't want to hear from you. So
Huh.
there.
Can't nobody tell you about Lonzo.
don't say nothing bad about Lonzo, because that is one good way to get me to fight you.
Yeah,
So,
Mm.
on the subject of men, so on Valentine's Day, because I think we should discuss, how our Valentine's days went. But how about this? I did my little photo shoot thing, uh, Valentine's Day weekend. I had 17 guys lined up, and 12 of them came. Well, actually, I
oh
ended
shit,
up with
that's
a
a good
total.
turnout.
Yeah, I ended up with a total of actually 14 because uh, two of the guys came with a friend. Um, and they like, oh hell, I get in on it too. Oh, that's cool because they were nice looking. I mean, they were interesting subjects to photograph. I'll say, um,
Subtle.
huh? Subtle.
Yeah.
Well, no, because the one guy wasn't necessarily nice looking, but he had a very interesting face. And actually, he
Wow.
wasn't a part of the plan. He wasn't a part of the plan. But when I got the photos home, his photo is actually my favorite. He's got a very interesting face. But anywho, so did the photo shoot with the gentleman and their whole little insights and commentary about love and Valentine's Day and all of that other stuff was just really interesting. So I figured that should be a topic for a future show.
We could do
Yeah.
that.
I mean, when it comes to Valentine's Day, I really could care less. Honestly, but like Valentine's Day was just another Monday to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I did eat cheesecake because I sent it to myself.
Oh,
Uh, but other than that, it was just Monday.
love yourself.
It'll be no different than the coming Monday, President's Day, and that's to say, uneventful.
Mm.
I mean, that's all.
How was your Valentine's Day, Magic?
Honestly, I would at that point I was overworked and tired and going through a lot, and the
Oh,
woman I'm in love with lives out of state, so she was like, if you come up here and watch the Super Bowl, then we can slide on Valentine's Day, but I still got to take her shopping tomorrow cuz I feel like a failure that I didn't actually do anything on that day.
oh, oh. Well, outside of my photo shoot, my Valentine's Day was uneventful as well. I wasn't necessarily on the fuck Valentine's Day train, as so many of my friends. It is just hilarious. It was like, fuck Valentine's Day. I wasn't necessarily on that, but I didn't
Did you
have
post the
any.
pictures?
No, I'm not done with that.
Okay.
I'm not done. And I have
Let
to
me know
get
when you
through with
do.
the.
Pause.
I have to get through with the current series that I'm posting for
Yeah, the hair
celebration
one.
of Black Hair. Yeah, I got to get through with that before I do the other
There's
ones.
some bangers in there too.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, you could advertise your shit, but that's on you.
Starpoint Photography, Instagram. Check me out.
I
My
approve.
face ain't on there nowhere, so it don't matter. But that kind of lets people know who I am. Anyway, whatever. Um, but yeah, uneventful day. I did get one or two small unexpected gifts just from like my male friends who just kind of thought about me. I got little flowers and um I got a kit thing for my camera, um which was cool. And I didn't really buy anything. I sent my mom something, and I got the baby a no sugar shortbread cookie in the shape of a heart, and I got a little thing for my daughter, and that was it.
I like it. Can we wrap this up?
We can.
Dear folks who have made it this far, if you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. And if you don't, tell everybody you know. It is the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and the Threesome Pod on Twitter. Holla at your peoples.
Adios.
Yeah. Bye.
Where art thou, Storm?
Are you sparking up? What is the lighter sound?
I am lighting a candle.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Lighting a candle.
Wow.
Why
There's
are we? Why are we singing?
there's something
Oh,
debating.
hey, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. You was gone for a minute.
Uh huh.
Okay, we're done. You can push stop.
Oh, we already finished.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
awake? What the fuck happened?